who wants to start OnlyFans in 2026 but don't know where to start, because if that is you, then this video is for you. You might be wondering who I am. Well, I'm Mikey, and I've been helping OnlyFans creators for the last year and a half achieve their goals in OnlyFans. And now I'm going to be going over kind of a beginner's guide on how you can start OnlyFans as well, and how you can really get going with this. So step one, super simple, just create your OnlyFans account. To do that, go to onlyfans.com, click sign up, and then choose create your account. Sign up using an email address, and I always advise to create a separate email address for OnlyFans and just kind of keep that work and personal life separate. And then choose a username that is easy to remember, sounds like a real name, and can be reused across Instagram and TikTok. I always say to use a stage name. You don't want people to know your real name. It can kind of impact your privacy, and there is some weirdos on there, so you always want to put safety first. Then I always say avoid random numbers in your username because it's going to be hard to search. Avoid spammy names or anything that you wouldn't say out loud. Super simple, just like creating any other social media account. And then step two is verify your identity. So to earn money, verification is mandatory. You can't kind of earn money on OnlyFans without doing that. So you'll need a valid government ID, passport or driving license, a selfie holding your ID, and your real personal details. Don't worry though, OnlyFans does keep these private, even if you're using a stage name. So verification usually takes a few minutes to a few hours, and sometimes up to 24 hours, but do know that I have seen this take a few attempts from experience, so they can get rejected and you kind of go in a loop until it's accepted. And then step three, this is kind of one of the more important steps, and it kind of really does matter more than you think. That's setting up your profile. So for your profile picture, you need a clear, well-lit photo of your face. You need a neutral or soft background. You need a natural, confident expression and no heavy filters. Think approachable, not explicit. We want this to attract people, but kind of to you, not just your assets. Cover photo, so a wider image, usually landscape, and it usually shows lifestyle, vibe, or body. I'm not going to lie, we just go for body. We aim to show the body in the cover photo. From over 50 creators, we've kind of tracked the data, tested loads of different cover photos, and one showing the body always has a higher conversion rate of subscribers. But please note, this shouldn't be explicit, and this does set the tone of your page instantly, so it kind of hooks people into your OnlyFans a bit more. Step four, write your bio. I just say keep it simple. Your bio should have three things: who you are, what people get, and why they should subscribe. So a good bio structure is one short intro line, one line about the type of content, and one call to action. Here's an example from one of our accounts. I'm 18 and I'm still pretty new here, no judging me. I'd love for you to make me your little secret. So that's the call to action, very subtle. One line about the type of content, pretty new here, no judging me. It's a very innocent approach, and in a way it does describe the type of content. And then the short intro line, 18 and new here. It's super simple bio, but it works, and it kind of draws people in. Don't copy me, really don't, because if everyone uses the same thing, it's not going to work. Kind of take this as an example and then go think about your own approach based on who you are and what your niche is. Step five, post starter content before promoting. So before sharing your link anywhere, upload at least 5 to 10 posts. I like to go for 30 personally, but at least 5 to 10, and a mix of photos, short videos, on one pin post welcoming new subscribers and encouraging them to like all the posts on your page, because people won't subscribe to an empty page. With this, I would never do explicit on the feed. That's just our personal approach. Obviously, you can do it and it can work. It just depends what your niche is and the type of creator that you are. The creators I work with are all very innocent, so we don't tend to do stuff like this unless it's going to be unlockable on the feed, and then again we don't really do that too often, only on some accounts. And then step 6, set your subscription price. For beginners in 2026, start between $5 to $10. I mean, it doesn't really matter, you can go 5 to 15. Personally, we use free trial, so we have it on $12.99, I think, for majority of creators, but then use free trial. But that's because we have the infrastructure to deal with a large amount of subs coming in each day. Always remember though, you can change the sub price later, so say you set it at $5 or $10, you can, or free trial even, you can always change that later on. But you're always going to make the most from messages and tips and paid content, not subscribers. So based on that, we like to have a low barrier to entry into the page, because it gives you more initial traction and it allows us to focus on building relationships which then allows us to kind of monetize messaging tips a lot more than the sub price. Once you've done all this, you're kind of ready to start promoting. This is the foundational steps to get your OnlyFans account ready. So for someone starting brand new, I would always just say focus on Instagram and TikTok at first. It's the lowest barrier to entry and has the highest return on investment for your time. You can start doing competitor analysis straight away on people who fit your niche. So kind of decide what niche you want to be in for OnlyFans, and then look at people who match your niche, look at what works for them, what doesn't work for them, and start really recreating their viral content. So recreate viral short form content from people in your niche on Reels and TikTok. And then as you begin posting, you can gather your own data on what did good for you and what did bad for you, and double down on what works best and stop doing what doesn't work. Remember, promotion is really a separate skill, and this video is just a foundational setup, so we'll kind of cover the rest of it in a different video and we'll go more in depth. Obviously, there are other stuff you can use that aren't Instagram and TikTok, like Reddit's a really good one for us, especially for younger creators, but there's a higher barrier to entry, and that's why I wouldn't advise starting with Reddit. And yeah, that's kind of it to get started. Super simple. There's not too much that goes into it, but it's just a guide to really help you get there if you're struggling. So recap, I'm just going to give you a quick recap. So to start properly, you need to set up the account before promotion. Create your OnlyFans creator account using a professional email or just a separate email and a username that feels like a real person. Something you'd be comfortable using across Instagram and TikTok. Next, complete ID verification with a valid ID and a clear selfie. This can take a few attempts, so be patient and make sure everything is clear and accurate. Then set up your profile properly, so a clean, well-lit profile photo, a cover image that shows your vibe. I would just say vibe, not lifestyle, and not explicit content. Can be teasing, it can be suggestive to hook people in, but it can't be explicit, and that's the difference. A simple bio that explains who you are, what content you post, and why someone should subscribe. So before promoting anything, upload at least 5 to 10 posts. I would personally say get like 50 to 100 ready, get them prepped, have a photo shoot, pick out 10 different outfits, take a certain amount in each outfit. Super easy, super simple. Just take them in different rooms, just mix and match, just so it doesn't look like they're all taken on the same day. And I always say set your sub price low. Well, I do free trial, typically $5 to $10, and that just reduces friction and builds momentum. Most long-term money comes from messages, tips, and paid content, building relationships, not subscriptions. So just get subscribers in and then focus on building a relationship and focus on really monetizing that long-term. And only after all this is done, you should start promoting. So focus on Instagram and TikTok first, study creators in your niche, recreate proven short form content, and track what performs best so you can double down on it. And remember, this video just covers the foundational stuff. Growth, traffic, and monetization strategies will come next. So thank you for listening. I've got a link in the description to this document. And if you do want help on your OnlyFans journey, I've also got a link in the description to book a call, and then we can, discuss your journey and where you want to go and see if we